Everyone, this is Elena, and today I will show you how to make this silk scarf using alcohol-based markers and 3 inkers. So I have a silk scarf that's square, but you can use any shape you like, and I have it folded 4-ply. So because the alcohol markers will bleed through the silk and will go through all of the layers. So I'm trying to flatten out the scarf, and then I will start coloring onto it. So I'm going first with purple. I'm using Chameleon Pens and Chameleon Rinkers. As well, you will need some colorless blender or rubbing alcohol. I'm using some rubbing alcohol because you will go through quite a bit of it at the end. So first I'm doing with the purple, I think it's purple grape. I'm doing zigzag, and this at the end you will notice that it will transform in some kind of like snow burst pattern. So I'm doing that, and I'm going from the middle point of the scarf when it's folded in 4. It's kind of the top edge, or depending how you turn it. So next I'm going with orange. Actually, this is a tangerine marker, and I'm going over that line a couple times so it has a chance to bleed through all of the layers. And then, because it did not, I'm just going from the back side and tracing that same line again. So next I'm using yellow, and with this one I'll be doing some polka dots. And I'm trying to go in that, kind of follow the same pattern. So when we open the scarf, they'll be in a way concentric circles or concentric patterns. So I'm just going over those dots a couple times, so because of the bleeding effect that goes through all of the layers. I'm just checking there how it bled through. So next I'm going with some turquoise. I'm just drawing a thin line and going over again. So just making sure that that line is thick enough and has a chance to bleed through. Next I'll be using some of the inkers. So I'm using here the Peony Pink, which is PK4 I believe. So I'm using some droppers instead of the inkers come with syringes, but I found it easier to do this with the droppers. So I'm just adding pattern, dot pattern. And with the inkers, it's easier for the ink to bleed through all of the layers. So then I'm just adding some more around in the middle of the yellow. So next I'll be using some of the turquoise inker and adding some below the aquamarine, kind of spiral or zigzag pattern. So you see how that inker kind of bled even on the top layer. It's not like a one line, but it's like thicker one. So I'm adding some more dots there, and this was the sage green. I'm just pulling my scarf so you can see the bottom. I'll be adding more colors and more inkers. Here I'm using the spring meadow. So I'm just doing a line. You can do any pattern you like. So you'll see here like the pattern we're doing, it's not really appealing, but at the end all those colors will bleed into each other when we add that rubbing alcohol and when we wash. So next I'm adding some little bit more detail using the markers. So the markers are pretty good for detail. If you want some thicker lines or more straight kind of plain pattern, you can use the inkers. Here I'm adding like a little bit larger dots using the sky blue. And then to finish up, I'm going back to the peony pink, and I'm adding this big circle in the corner, and then I'll add smaller ones onto the sides. So now we're done. Now I cleaned my surface. Actually, I placed another plastic I used plastic bag, so whatever bled on the previous one doesn't mix up with the colors that we have on the scarf. So I'm adding with the again with a dropper, I'm adding some rubbing alcohol all over the pattern we just drew or made with the reinkers and markers. So I'm just going slowly over those, and this will cause that ink to bleed into each other and create more fun pattern or more fun design onto the scarf. So I'm just going over everything that we did before, and you will see how that ink bleeds. It's kind of magic. So I'm going over that line, and you'll notice that with the reinkers we have more bleeding where we drew with markers. It's it doesn't bleed as much. So that's another difference when you do how you want it to come out, whether you want to use the markers or the reinkers. So I'm just adding a lot of alcohol on this one because it's thicker line, so I want it to bleed more. See how it goes towards the blue and the yellow dots. So next it's the sky blue dots and the peony pink ones. So after you're done with this, you let the scarf dry completely, or if you want the colors to be softer, you can wash it before it dries completely. So after it dried, I went and washed it in cold water and then I ironed it, and here's the final result. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching and see you soon. Bye!